You've tried to save your marriage. You've done the work, made the changes, but now she blocked you. No calls, no text, no contact. And it hurts because you just want her to see how much you've grown. And I get it. Well, listen, if you follow what I'm about to share step by step, you'll have a real shot at rebuilding connection, even when she wants nothing to do with you. And this is the same playbook that's helped guys like Ian, Mike, David go from blocked and hopeless to fully reconnected husbands again. Let's break it down. When a man gets blocked, his first instinct is to panic. He wants to do something, to fix it, to reach out, to send that one text that'll finally make her see. So he starts asking questions like, how do I reach out? How can I make her believe I've changed? But here's the truth, man. Those are the wrong questions. Because if she's cut off all contact, it's not a test. It's a protection move. She didn't block you because she hates you. She blocked you because deep down, she doesn't feel safe. Not yet. And that wall, it wasn't built overnight. It went up slowly, brick by brick. And every time you promise, every time every promise was broken, every time a moment got too heated, every time you said, I'll do better, but didn't, those bricks. So when you try to climb that wall by forcing contact, you're not showing change. You're showing the same pattern that built the wall in the first place. Let me give you a story that paints this picture clear as day. There was a man I worked with. We'll call him Matt. Matt's wife had blocked him on everything: phone, social medias, email. He was desperate to show her he'd changed. So every few days, he'd accidentally drive by her favorite coffee shop. He'd tell himself, oh, it's just coincidence. I'll just, casually bump into her. Or he'd send a letter that said, I know you said no contact, but this is important. He thought he was showing love, but to her, felt like pressure. And pressure kills safety. Each time he pushed, she pulled further. Oh, push-pull dynamic. What he saw was effort she experienced as intrusion. Until one day, she told him through a mutual friend, I don't feel safe when he won't stop. That was the moment Matt finally understood. It wasn't that she didn't see his effort. It was that she didn't trust it yet. And maybe you've done the same thing. A quick, hey, hope you're okay text, or sending an update about the kids, or liking one of her posts just to remind her you exist. I get it. You're trying to reconnect. But when she's in this place, every small reach out feels like pressure. And pressure turns the wound into a wildfire. Trying to force contact now is like breaking into a house that's already on fire. You're not saving it. You're just making it burn faster. So, step one, stop chasing contact. Stop trying to prove you've changed. Stop crossing the boundary she built to protect herself. Because when you honor that boundary, when you stop fighting for control, that's the first real sign you've changed. That's when she starts watching differently. Not because of what you say. You've got to actually face this like a man, not a victim. She didn't block you because she hates you. She blocked you because she doesn't feel safe with you yet. And that wound we've got to heal. And it starts with acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means finally seeing the truth for what it is, not what you wish it was. Think about it. What would it take for you to block someone you once loved? That's not a small decision. That's not a bad day or a misunderstanding. That's a deep level of pain, the kind that builds over months, maybe years, until she finally says, I can't do this anymore. It means there's been serious damage. And deep down, that deep damage doesn't heal with promises. It heals with proof. Words might have started the fire, but only consistent action can rebuild what's burned down. Here's where most men mess this up. They think they just send the right message, they say the right thing, or show up with grand gestures that'll fix it. But when trust is broken, fast fixes feel fake. Okay? Fast fixes feel fake. Repeat that in your brain. What she needs now isn't performance, it's evidence. She needs to feel the difference in your energy before she'll ever believe your words again. And the more you chase her, the more unsafe it feels. Because to her, chasing equals pressure. And pressure reminds her of everything she's trying to escape. But when you stop chasing, when you start rebuilding your center, she can finally take a breath. When you stay calm, grounded, and patient, she starts to notice. Even from a distance, you can't talk your way back in her heart. You have to become the man she can trust again. That's why this part of the process, accepting reality, is where strength is forged. Because until you stop fighting her no, you'll never create space for her to say, maybe. So stop trying to break through the wall, brother. Stand tall, get still, and let your actions rebuild what your words can't. Because she doesn't need to hear that you change. She needs to feel it. Now, let's shift gears. We've talked about what not to do. Now it's time to talk about what does work. So these are the 5 principles, or 5 maxims, if you will, that you need to live by right now. If you take these seriously, they'll completely change how you show up and how she experiences you. So the first one is asking her to stay is a massive ask. You're not asking her to grab dinner. You're asking her to bet her life on you, her heart, her kids, her future. That's not small. That's sacred. So if you're asking something big, you'd better deliver big. If you want her to trust you again, you've got to become a man worth trusting again. And that doesn't mean pretending to have it all together and figured out. It means owning where you failed, leading yourself first, and proving that your words actually mean something this time. Think about it. When she said, I do, she wasn't choosing a man. She was choosing a leader. She was choosing leadership. And right now, she doesn't feel led. She feels let down. So don't ask her to bet her heart again until you rebuild that kind of man she can safely bet on. It's like asking someone to get on a plane that already crashed once. She's not afraid of flying. She's afraid of flying with you. So if you want her back on board, you've got to rebuild the plane stronger than before. Number 2 is you can't fix a problem with the same thinking that caused it. If your old habits, tone, or reaction got you here, those tools can't get you out. You can't think your way out of a hole you already dug emotionally. You've got to change your approach from the ground up. That means your mindset, new standards, new emotional control. I used to think if I just was nicer, things would change. If I smiled more, apologized more, stayed quiet when she got upset, I thought I was showing growth. But all I was doing was losing leadership. I remember working with a guy named Chris. He said, I don't understand. I've been so nice, so patient, so calm. But what he called calm felt like a disconnection. Because niceness isn't leadership. Leadership means emotionally steady, not emotionally silent. Real leadership doesn't mean saying the right words. It means carrying the right energy. When your energy shifts, her nervous system feels it before she even realizes. Number 3 is to get something different, you must become someone different. If you want a 10x marriage, right, 10 times better, you can't stay a 1x man. You can't rebuild a legacy using the same material that caused it to crumble. That means you have to think differently, feel differently, act differently. Most men try to rebuild a marriage, but they forget to rebuild themselves. It's like software. If the system keeps crashing, you don't restart it, you upgrade it. You rewrite the code so it can handle more power, more data, and more connection. That's what this phase is, a full system upgrade. Number 4 is don't aim to be 10% better. Aim to be 1,000% better, 10x better. Most guys only change enough to look better on the surface. They start hitting the gym, they make more money, they clean up their look, and sure, that's fine, but that's not transformation. That's camouflage. 10% better means that you're still playing the same games. 10x better means that you change the game. It's when you're calm, your confidence and your energy are so strong, she can feel the difference without saying a word. You ever walk into a room and sense peace before anyone speaks? That's what real change feels like. It's quiet, powerful, and steady. When you become that kind of man, she doesn't come back because of guilt. Imagine your wife sitting across from you, arms crossed, guarded. But as you sit there, calm, grounded, not chasing, not defensive, her shoulders drop, her breathing slows. She's not saying it out loud, but she's thinking, something's different about him. Number 5 would be focus on the right kind of change. Most men chase external wins, abs, bank accounts, new clothes, just like we've talked about. Those are fine, but they don't rebuild the emotional safety. Real change happens when you master the flip over with the 5 keys, okay? Safety. She feels secure with your presence, not scared of your reactions. Genuine desire. She sees a man that she can respect again. Alignment. Your actions and values match. Then, passion. You bring warmth and connection back, not tension. And last but not least, respect. You lead with dignity, not dominance. These don't come from what you say, they come from who you become. When you show up grounded, consistent, and emotionally disciplined, she doesn't just hear your change, she feels it. And that's what reopens her heart. If you're serious about becoming that kind of man, the one she can actually feel safe with again, I built a free training that walks you through the exact steps. You'll find that link below this video. It's not therapy, it's not guesswork. It's a strategy for men who lead from calm, not chaos. Because when you learn how to lead yourself first, you don't have to chase her anymore. She naturally turns back towards the man that she can finally trust again. So, how do you become 10 times better? You do it by building new habits that hardwire strength and safety into your identity. Not fake confidence, not acting cool, but real quiet power that can't be shaken, no matter what's happening around you. Because this isn't about pretending to be calm. It's about becoming calm. It's not about saying the right line. It's about embodying the right energy. When a woman feels safe, her walls drop on their own. You don't have to chase her. You don't have to fix her. You don't have to talk her back into the relationship. You just have to be the man she can finally relax around again. When your presence feels safe, her nervous system stops bracing for battle. That's when connection can grow again, naturally. Imagine this for a second. Your wife walks into the room. Normally, her guard goes up. She's scanning for tone and watching for tension. But this time, she pauses. She notices something different. You're not reactive. You're not walking on eggshells either. You're just present. And for the first time in a long time, she exhales. She feels your calm before you even speak. That's the 10x energy. That's what safety feels like. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's felt. Here's what you need to know. The men who rebuild connection after being blocked don't wait for her to notice. They become so steady, so consistent, so unshakable that she can't not notice. They lead quietly. They build structure, stability, and peace in their lives, even when she's gone. That's what makes her curious again. That's what earns her respect. She may say she's not watching, but I have yet to be proven wrong because she always is. Her guard checks your consistency. Her silence tests your self-control. Her distance measures your growth. Every moment you want to reach out, every time you want to defend yourself or explain, that's the test. Because what she's really asking without words is, can I trust you to stay grounded when it's hard? And when you pass the test enough times, something shifts. When she finally sees you standing there calm, grounded, and patient, she starts wondering, wait, who is this man? And that question right there, that's the moment the doors crack open. Not because you chased her, but because you became someone she couldn't recognize. In the best possible way. I worked with a guy named Evan. His wife blocked him everywhere. Social media, phone, everything. Even email. Instead of panicking, he took 6 weeks to rebuild himself. He woke up early, journaled, lifted, started to lead with calm energy around the kids. When they finally bumped into each other at their daughter's game, she said, "You seem different, lighter." She couldn't even explain it, but she could feel it. That's 10 times better. You don't say it, you live it. Think of your old self like cheap glass. Every argument, every silent treatment, it cracked. The 10x version of you is the tempered steel. Pressure doesn't break you, it forges you. The more heat you handle calmly, the stronger you become. So becoming 10 times better isn't just about changing for her. It's about transforming into the man you were meant to be, with or without her approval. Because when you stop trying to get her back and start focusing on being the kind of man she can trust again, that's when the real connection begins. When you've been blocked, your goal isn't to talk to her, it's to become a man worth talking to. You're not trying to win her attention, you're rebuilding her belief. Because belief is the foundation of attraction. And the only way to rebuild belief is through consistency, strength, and leadership. You do that by mastering what we call are the 5 core marks of a heroic husband. The daily behaviors that show her without words, I'm no longer the man who broke your trust. And these aren't fluffy mindset tricks. These are battle-tested discipline built for men who lead from calm, not chaos. So core number 1 is steady presence. This is in our healing phase. You rebuild safety not by explaining, but by embodying calm. When you stop reacting and start responding, you give her space to breathe again. Your presence becomes quiet, grounded, and dependable. She stops feeling your instability and starts feeling your steadiness. That's what healing looks like. You stop proving, you start being. I had a client, Mark, who used to chase every emotional high and low. The moment he stopped reacting, when he learned to pause, breathe, and lead himself, his wife didn't soften because of what he said. She softened because she felt his steadiness again. Core number 2 is purpose-driven leadership. This is where we start going from healing and we start shifting into the Renaissance man. You rebuild admiration through direction, not control, not dominance, but a man who's moving towards something bigger than validation. When your life has purpose, you stop orbiting her emotions. You become gravity. That's what true masculine leadership looks like, being led by a mission, not by mood. When you have a clear direction, mentally, physically, spiritually, she can finally stop wondering what he's going to do next and start trusting he's got this. Core number 3 is integrity alignment. This is in our shifting phase. You rebuild trust when your words and actions finally match. If you say you'll call, call. If you say you're changing, live it. If you say you want to protect her peace, stop disturbing it. This is the quiet strength of a man in alignment, where his actions speak way louder. She doesn't need reassurance anymore. Think of an alignment like a compass. When the needle finally points north again, everyone around you can feel it, even if you never say a word. Core number 4 is magnetic lightness. This goes into our bonding phase. You rebuild desire not by chasing her affection, but by becoming the kind of man who brings lightness back into the space. That means being playful, confident, and at ease in your own skin. When she's around you, she should feel lifted, not pressured. You don't create attraction through performance, you create it through presence. Because a woman's heart naturally opens when a man besides her feels at peace within himself. It's like a campfire. The fire doesn't beg anyone to come close, it just burns bright and people feel drawn to its warmth. Core number 5 is relentless consistency. This is going into our legacy phase. You rebuild respect through repetition, not big speeches, not promises, just consistent, disciplined follow-through. Every day you show up centered and clear, she learns she can trust your leadership again. Respect isn't given, it's earned through repetition of reliability. You become the man she doesn't have to second guess. The man who's no longer a liability, but an anchor. That's what a heroic husband does. He doesn't talk about being different, he lives differently. Let me tell you about a man named Ian. Ian was blocked for months, no contact, no updates, nothing. Instead of trying to talk his way back, he doubled down on his leadership. He rebuilt his disciplines. He trained his mind. He stayed steady and calm, even when it hurt. Then one day, she reached out. She said, I don't know why, I just feel like I can talk to you again. That's it. No begging, no pressure, just a shift she felt before she even understood it. That's the power of the heroic husband method. When you master the marks of strength, safety, and steadiness, she feels your change before she believes it. Rebuilding trust is like forging steel. It takes heat, pressure, and repetition. But every swing of that hammer, every calm response, every consistent action shapes a version of you that's stronger than the one she left. It's to become the kind of man she can talk to again. When you've mastered these 5 marks, when your energy, your focus, and your actions align, she won't just see a change, she'll feel leadership again. That's when belief starts to rebuild. Not because of what you said, but because of who you become. Every man in your situation has to ask 2 questions. When the next opportunity comes, will I be ready? Or will I still be repeating the same mistakes? You can't control when she opens the door again, but you can control who you are when it happens. When you're ready, opportunities find you. When you're not, they pass right by you. So here's your focus right now. Don't chase contact. Don't try to prove your change. Become the proof. If you're ready to build that kind of trust again, to reclaim your calm, your confidence, and your marriage, hit the link below and join me in the free Heroic Husband training. Because when men who lead from strength don't wait to be chosen, they become the kind of man she can't forget. And if you want something a little bit more personal, you can always book a free clarity call below. Bye.